Assalamu alaikum friends. I'm your tax dost and tax host Anthony Williams and you're watching Tax Dosti reporting. Today is the 8th of September 2018 and this video is being made for resident and non-resident Pakistanis. So the title is Resident and Non-Resident Pakistani Be Informed, and as you know the Tax Dosti is all about taxes. So today we want to talk about the tax liabilities and penalties in case of concealment of income and assets. As you know that tax dosti reporting is all about knowing your tax rights in Pakistan. You may be a Pakistani citizen, or you may be working or visiting Pakistan, or you may be a Pakistani living overseas, commonly known as overseas Pakistanis, that Imran Khan likes to talk about in his every talk. So, tax dosti reporting is the videos of Tax Dosti reporting is on the latest news happening and updates, especially regarding from the Federal Board of Revenue (FBR), the Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan (SECP), SBP, State Bank of Pakistan (FIA), which many people know as Federal Investigation Agency, and the famous NAB, National Accountability uh, Board, and obviously the Supreme Court of Pakistan. So tax dosti reporting is on YouTube channel. So on our tax dosti YouTube channel, you can watch all these videos where we talk about the news, the happenings that are affecting your tax rights. And the financial regulatory authorities in Pakistan are, as you can see on the screen, FBR, SECP, State Bank, FIA, NAB, and the Supreme Court. So there is a lot of happening nowadays, and you can also find us on Facebook and on Facebook. You can simply search for Tax Dosti, and on our page you can see videos, you can contact us, and also you can call us from within Pakistan or outside Pakistan. And as usual, you can book our tax consultants online by visiting taxdosti.com and just dropping us a line. So we are talking about the non-resident Pakistani resident and non-resident Pakistanis be informed about the tax liabilities and penalties in case of concealment of income and assets. Tax Dosti wants to empower all Pakistanis regarding their tax rights and tax obligations. Section 111 is concerned with unexplained income and asset. And yesterday we did a video on the 7th of September where we talked about what unexplained income and asset is. Today we are talking about that when it comes to the notice of the Commissioner of Income Tax that you have unexplained income and assets. So he can put you in a lot of trouble. And since in Pakistan, um, at least 54 million people belong to the are part of the working class, that is part of the employment out of 220 million, but only 1 million people file their tax returns, which means that about 50 million people don't file their tax returns. And we're not saying that all of them have unexplained income or assets, because for the basic reason, if you're earning 35,000 through jobs or through business per month, you're not required to file your taxes or pay any taxes. But if you earn more than 35,000 rupees as salary or as profits or on in your business or as interest on your investments or in other ways, you must consider filing your tax returns. And today we are talking about what are the consequences if you do not file your tax returns and you do not report to the government every year by filing your tax return that you have these much assets and these are your incomes. So basically, if you make any investment, for example, if you put 10 million rupees in the bank and the bank pays you fixed deposit profit on that, when they will pay annually, semi-annually profits on those, on your investment, they will deduct advance tax, and the government, and especially the Federal Board of Revenue FBR, will be informed that this person has 10 million, 100 million, whatever the figure, in a bank account, and it is generating profits, which is income liable to tax, and the government will deduct the tax during the year on it. But the government also wants you to declare your investment in your tax return, and so the commissioner will it will come to the notice of the commissioner that you have made an investment. Or, for example, if you are owner of a money or valuable article, suppose you have a car, a valuable car. You have my favorite car, Audi, and the custom and excise duty impounds that car, and then the government notices that you have not declared that car in your wealth statement. So that is also another cause or reason for the commissioner to notice that you have something valuable which you have not declared. Or for example, if you take all your family to America and you spend 3 million rupees in traveling tickets, paying for your travel tickets, this information, since tax is deducted on international airline tickets, this information also comes to the FBR and they have it in their database that you have spent 3 million rupees or $100,000 on your trips, and this notice can then trigger what we are going to discuss further. Um, on point number 4, concealment of income means that you have a big business, you have a hospital, you have schools, you have 10 schools running, and you have not filed your return, or and it is obvious that you are running 10 schools or a big franchise. You must be earning income, and even if you're not earning profits, still you have to file your return and tell the government what were your sales, your purchases, cost of sales, your expenses, or you provide inaccurate information about your income. So all of this triggers a notice to the Commissioner of Income Tax, and when this triggers, he can he has the following option. What are the options available to the Commissioner, Inland Revenue Authority, FPR, according to the Income Tax Ordinance? Just remember that this is not legal advice. We are just making you aware of your tax rights. If the government and the Commissioner has it has been brought to his or her notice that you have some unexplained income and assets, and since you are not a tax filer, or even if you are a tax filer, you have not declared those things. So what are the options he has under the Income Tax Ordinance 2001? And these are the two options that he has. Rather, this is the option that he has in every case whenever he wants to proceed against you under the Income Tax Ordinance. He will send you a notice of section under section 114, which says that you have to file your income tax return for a certain tax year which starts from July to June. So for example, if he sends you a notice for section 114 for tax year 2017, that means that he's asking you that please tell us what were your income sources during July 2016 to June 2017. And similarly, with this, he will send a notice under section 116, which will require you to file a wealth statement, not to pay wealth tax, to file a wealth statement, which will require you to declare your all your assets in Pakistan and outside Pakistan, and all your liabilities in Pakistan and outside Pakistan, as well as a list of or a approximate expense list which will show where you have spent this money and what were your sources, and a reconciliation reconciling all of them. So this is the main option commissioner has when he is notified that previously you were sorry. So, those who have just joined us, tax liabilities and penalties. In this case, we are talking to resident, non-resident Pakistanis, and we are telling them that if you are not in the tax net, you hear every day that 1 million people, that is 10 lakh people, file their tax returns, which means that the rest of the workforce in Pakistan, which is about 57 million people, 5.7 करोड़ लोग बनते हैं. 57 million people out of 220 million people are a part of the employed workforce in Pakistan. So about 50 million are out of the tax net. They should be in the tax net, which means that all the income that you're earning is basically, technically, or according to the law, unexplained income and assets. And if the commissioner notices that you have made investments or you have assets, resources, then he has the option to send you these notices. Now, once you get these notices, you have two options. One, not to respond to these notices and let him continue the legal course that he has started, or the other option is to comply with these notices, hire a lawyer, chartered accountant, a tax expert, preferably tax dosti, to guide you through the process and file your tax returns. The reason you may decide to become a tax filer, which is you decide to file your tax returns, it may be one of these. That you decide that since whenever you take out money from ATM, it's costing you, you're paying taxes, or whenever you use a banking instrument check, you're paying taxes, or on buying property, you're paying taxes on, or for visa processing, they want to know if you're a filer or not, and if you're not a filer, they don't want to give you a visa, or you want to get some government tenders, or you want to buy automobiles or anything, so you need to be filer. Or if you are paying or providing any services, too much tax is being withheld from your services, so you decide to file tax return under 114 and wealth statement 116. That is well and good, and then you have to then every year file your records. And if you keep on watching Tax Dosti reporting videos, you'll know what is generally come to know where the government is going with its legislation regarding taxes and its penalties. And if you decide that no problem, many people are not paying their taxes, many people are not filing their returns, so this is the penalties for not filing your tax returns. That is, if under section 114 you get the notice, and 100 and section 16 you get the notice, but you don't comply with those notice, you ignore the notice, then you will be fined and end up with imprisonment of 1 year. There are other sections also. As I said, that this is not legal advice, this is just general information for resident and non-resident Pakistanis or people of other nationalities working in Pakistan, earning from Pakistan. So prosecution will be, you'll be convicted and you will pay fine as well as go to prison for up to 1 year if you don't comply with these notices and don't tell the government what are your sources of income, what are your assets, liabilities, and expenditures. Moving on, basically, if, for example, you decide that I will file my tax return 114 and my wealth statement 116, but I will not tell the whole truth to the government. Or for that matter, if the government sends you any letter regarding, for example, under section 176 to ask that you have overseas assets, assets in other countries, you have income in other countries, and you decide to tell them falsely or not the complete truth, then you can be punished with fines and imprisonment of up to 3 years. And the reason this video is being made, that there is another twist to the story. Basically, now once you are prosecuted under section 192 of the income tax ordinance, another law which is called Anti Money Laundering Act 2010 has been activated since 2016, and according to that law you can be persecuted in addition to these 3 years, and penalties in that law are in the millions, and imprisonment is 10 years and above. So basically, the tax people have decided, FBR and the government, that if you are telling lies, then there must be something that you're hiding, because you have made, they're assuming that you have made this money through illegal means, because anti money laundering means money made through crime and unlawful uh, methods. So basically, you are they are assuming, and then they will not only persecute you for false statement that you have made in your tax returns. For example, if you have salary income and you have also have rent coming from your plazas or places that you have given on rent, you have not shown that. So they will assume that number one, that you have evaded taxes, as well as, since that money has not been properly documented, you can use it, misuse it for anything. So an anti money laundering law will also be imposed on you. And going forward, basically, empowering 220 million Pakistanis. Another section has been added recently, 192A, prosecution for concealment of income. Once they are convinced that you have concealed your income, your assets, and you come under section 111 of income tax ordinance, and the concealment is more than 500,000, and you have done this when they are proceeding against you in any tax proceedings, so they will prosecute for you for concealment of income with fine and imprisonment of 2 years. And the twist is that they will also start prosecution under Anti Money Laundering Act 2010, and those penalties and years imprisonment will be added with these. So if these were less harsh penalties, they'll add an anti-money laundering, and once that comes out, other laws will also be enacted. So chain reaction will start, where one thing will lead to another. So the best thing is to faithfully declare all your income, sources of income, your expenditures, your assets and liabilities, and have a nice day. Continue with your job, with your business, with your family. So these are the laws, these are the penalties and the consequences of not declaring your assets and income. And surprisingly, in Pakistan, only 1 million people manage to file their tax returns annually. So at least 50 million people are coming under the power of these regulations. If you don't start filing your tax return from now going forward, it will become very difficult, and then you will be burdened with the act of proving that all that you have earned in 10 years, 5 years, 20 years in Pakistan and outside Pakistan is not illegal money. It has been legally earned, and then you'll be have to face hearings and tax proceedings for many years. So the best thing is to please file your tax return. Start as soon as possible. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thank you for watching Tax Dosti reporting. Have a nice day. This is not legal advice, but it is an advice to empower you so that you can do the right thing. I'm your tax host and tax dost, Anthony Williams. Thank you.